Young Thug sends the message. While on tour in Europe, he is searching for an NBA YoungBoy.
Yo, man, get this fake healthy shit out the studio, bro. This shit ain't nothing. Hey, Pluto trip, this shit ain't nothing. Fake healthy shit, bro. What the f it is?
Oh, man. Boy.
And Pluto tripping, man. The bird, man.
Soap water you drinking.
That's why
I'm telling this right now. Your beat can't f with me, bro. Y'all beats can't f with me, for real. Your beats can't f with me.
Might be the only one.
You and Weezy.
It might be one of you.
Y'all.
I'm gonna give you two. You and Pluto, y'all the only two. Everybody else, 200. Come get them. We ain't playing with y'all. Each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we ain't no McDonald's, man. We ain't no McDonald's key. How far? Yeah, this is calling me. Hello? Yeah, who? Nah, I'm already situated. I'm already having who I'm having. Yeah, she could be one of the. She can go for one of the bros though.
Why is this so stupid?
I'm already having one I'm having though. Hold on, somebody's calling me. Hello. Man, Twin just said the same thing on the other phone. I'm already having what I'm having, bro. I'm good. Give to one of the bros. I'm having what I'm having. Alright, say no more. Yeah, I perform tomorrow in Belgium. Nah, we in Germany, right? Yeah, I perform in Germany tomorrow. Big festival. Yeah, no kidding. Alright. Chat, what's up? I mean, what? No, the stream will say chat, but if you want just regular Instagram, then what?
You really hear a chat?
Yeah, man, Instagram chat. What's up, Instagram chat? What we doing? Huh? What we doing, man? Nah, I ain't doing shit, man. I'm chilling, man. I just yellow shit. It's yellow. This ain't but some yellow. Yeah, man, it's the 2s and 3s, kid. Yellow. Yellow. Got my son with me. I got the boy Jake with me and Jameer. Jake, what's up, Jake?
What's up, Instagram?
Man. Boy Jake and Mir with me. Yeah, man, what we doing there, man? We just chilling, man. We in Germany, man, pushing out. Man, finna go up. Man, YB hit my phone, man. Hey, somebody tell Top call me. I need to ask him something. Call my phone, Top.
I'm just gonna say what everyone's thinking. No matter what happened with BigXThaPlug, or like whatever happened with him.
I'll just state what everyone is considering. Whatever happened to BigXThaPlug, or whatever happened to him, he was taken off the tour, whatever it was. That's not nothing to be upset about, man. For a man like Thug, that is not insignificant. To quarrel over. Alright, so if it was like, who likes anyone else really? Or if there were actually anyone else on the planet who didn't have a Thug situation and probation hanging over his head, the threat of probation would be like him going back to jail and facing all of the charges that he ultimately managed to avoid. Yes, he shouldn't be fighting about anything like this. There's no logic behind it. A thug should only be fighting for self-defense, which isn't truly a fight, in my opinion. That is merely self-defense. The only thing Thug ought to be doing to other people is that. Do you understand what I mean? That or that is the only situation in which Thug ought to react violently. Do you understand what I mean? It's like he's protecting his own life. Apart from that, nah, dude, that now is not the time to be at odds with. YB, you shouldn't be fighting with anyone like that right now. No, it's time to relax for 20 years. You accepted that agreement, you know. Well, according to YSL Steel, he could have removed you. He believed that you shouldn't have accepted that bargain, you know. He believed that you ought to have stayed and attempted to fight the entire situation, essentially getting all of the accusations dropped. You choose to take the simple route instead. You wanted to go quickly, which was less dangerous, but it was a greater setup in the end. Do you get it? It was a prelude. That's the issue. Although it's a setup deal, it was less dangerous. A guy like you, who engages in as much beefing as you do, is inevitably going to blow a deal like this. You're going to fail this probationary period, which is actually more like a probationary decade than a probationary period, aren't you? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. As I mentioned earlier, I don't believe Thug should be fighting with anyone, especially not about this kind of thing. He should just be fighting over, as I mentioned. I'll add one more thing into fear. I'll include his family as an additional item, both his personal self-defense and his family. For example, it's one thing if someone is threatening him or attempting to harm him in some way, or if it concerns his family, as if he must defend them. Well, that's another matter entirely. Apart from that, though, I honestly can't think of a single justification for something like this. You know, Thug is being completely stupid about this. And I am aware that Thug is probably thinking, dude, I beat the odds at this point. I went off of YSL Steel, you know. We are unbeatable. Do you understand what I mean? Nothing could stop us at this point. We're doing fine. However, it isn't actually the case. Do you understand what I mean? One mistake like this is all that is required. They're anticipating your arrival. They attempted to get Thug to appear on a tweet not too long ago, didn't they? Similar to the previous year or anything like it. Did they not get him on? Perhaps not even last year, but perhaps this year? Earlier this year, for example, I believe they attempted to send him back, literally, and have him found guilty of all counts. For what he said in a tweet. I can't remember what he tweeted. He had stated something in a tweet, but I can't recall it at the moment, but it wasn't that ridiculous. It was insane enough, but not that insane. It was inappropriate for him to say that. He was released after saying that in a tweet, and they essentially said, yeah, nah, you know, you need to go back and serve this time. Do you understand what I mean? This time, you must return and serve. And he was fortunate that the judge essentially rejected it, saying, no, nah, this doesn't meet what we would consider to send him back. You know, like this is not considered, him failing the probationary period just off of that tweet, which was real good. He was quite fortunate to have a judge who was most likely a fan, do you understand? Because the tweet wasn't very good. He had a judge who really liked him. It wasn't a clever thing to say, but it didn't paint him in a particularly negative or insane light. Do you understand? The question was, why are you saying this when you know the threat that's looming over your head right now? It was simply not a wise thing to say. That's my perspective on it then. Young Thug ought to stop playing around. On Twitter, in my opinion, don't be weak. You should refrain from tweeting something that could lead to your incarceration. Avoid doing that. Additionally, it's not nice to start threatening people or picking fights with people who are thought to be in the same industry as you and who are also, really affiliated. Do you understand what I mean? That's not healthy. You can obtain a Quando Rondo King Van Part 2 in this manner, and you're not allowed to have another one of those. You can't have one of those, Young Thugs, but you can't have you again. One of those is out of your price range. You are aware that Way can afford to experience such a circumstance again. Bro, You can't afford to be in that predicament again. I mean to be in such a circumstance. I say it again and again. He has never experienced such a circumstance. That might happen though, in a King Vang YoungBoy scenario. We are aware that the last time a well-known rapper had a feud with YoungBoy, they vanished. You get it? For them, that was the worst course of action. There's obviously more to it than that, Van. YoungBoy, the appearance of a mafia boss. That is not all there is to it. It goes without saying that Van should not have approached Rondo and attempted to hit him in that manner in front of Lil Tim and several other individuals who were armed. That simply doesn't make sense, you know. He ought never to have done that. That clearly plays a significant role in that. However, it's just a good idea to remember that, you know, YoungBoy typically ends up coming out on top of that, on some 50 Cent type stuff, for those who have an issue with him. I won't even tell lies. Furthermore, I'm not even that big of a YoungBoy fan. I'm not. Although I don't like YoungBoy, I believe he's cool. Do you understand? However, I can admit that the Zuho hold a grudge against him. That was his victory. Do you understand what I mean? He sort of prevailed in that. Well, things are different now. Things involving Lil Durk and Lil Pop have occurred, among other things. Therefore, it's doubtful that you can say whatever. However, I would suggest that YoungBoy's op is no longer there. The op for YoungBoy has vanished. YoungBoy wasn't related to Lil Pop, bro. So I'm willing to wager that YoungBoy is like Lil Pop. Such as, well, you didn't, you aren't. It's not like you have Yaya Mayweather up here. Nobody that YoungBoy truly cares about left here like that. According to someone like him, YoungBoy is still up on the score, low-key, so to speak. You know, low-key, YoungBoy. Not only because of the quantity of loss, you know, but because of the loss itself. Yes, they both suffered losses, but in my opinion, YoungBoy's loss was significantly smaller. Well, but that's my perspective on it. Seems silly to me. The 101 of goofy conduct. Please share your opinions with me in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe, and enable notifications if you like this video. Noah is listening in right now. Take it easy, everyone.